sold out Sanford Pentagon, better than 3,250 here. And we are underway. Nebraska and South Dakota both wearing throwback uniforms. Cream color for Nebraska, red for South Dakota. Nebraska leads this all-time series 10-1. They last met in 2013 when Amy Williams was the head coach at USD. It was an 87-53 win for the Huskers. Deep shot right away, rattles in for Logan Misley.
Both these teams did an excellent job of scouting one another. Nebraska knew that South Dakota would come out in a zone, which is exactly what they did, but they still went inside, which is what I love. And
then on the other end, Nebraska, the press, they've emphasized that a lot more early this season, and it already forces a USD turnover.
We talked about scouting, and South Dakota knew that Nebraska would press them early, and they worked on it. And they didn't look like it in that last possession, but they did spend a lot of time on their press offense today.
Here is Britt Prince from the elbow. 5 quick points for the Huskers.
This is the first time in a couple of years that Nebraska's had someone new, someone not named Jazz Shelley running the point. And Britt Prince gives you size, but most importantly, she gives you athleticism and versatility as a scorer.
She's a 5-star recruit, number 16 Prospects Nation, number 28 in the ESPN Top 100. They really like her both now and for the future. I think we have a clock issue right now. As you see that press, Nebraska's going to start it early and have it go often.
This is the most that Nebraska has pressed. I know it's early, it's just a 3-game sample size, but Nebraska, Amy Williams has not pressed this much since she's been the head coach at Nebraska. But she has the depth and the athleticism to do it for the first time in 9 years.
Grace Larkin's able to bring it into the front court for the Coyotes. High rainbow shot just off the mark from Adara Groman. Fight for the loose ball ends up in the hands of Alberti Rindahl. Prince behind the back working against Olivia Kiefer. Scoop and score.
That's a glimpse of that athleticism that we were talking about earlier. Britt Prince, she was an absolute stud in high school, and it was a big get for Nebraska when she chose to stay at home.
Watch this move by Prince.
Well, she's just an all-around athlete. She's a great track athlete. She can get you 24 points, but she can also get you an 11 assists.
Here is Larkins. First shot goes in for Grace Larkins, and USD needed that. Inside to Markowski, the kick out Prince. Corner 3 rattles in.
This is going to be a 3-point shootout that I'm here for, David. We can do this all night.
13 total points in less than 2 minutes. Alexi Hempy, top of the key, splashes home a triple.
That's what I want to see from players not named Grace Larkins in a South Dakota uniform.
Lexi Hempy, a 6th-year senior for USD, said she worked on her outside shot in the offseason. It paid off there. Misley off on that triple. Rebound from Carly Duffney.
And right now, this pace favors South Dakota.
Doesn't allow Nebraska to get in their press defense.
Absolutely. South Dakota, they want to take quicker shots. They don't want to give a chance for the Cornhuskers to get set up in the quarter court.
Here's Hempy driving toward the middle, stops at the foul line and hits.
She's smart, David. She's experienced. She's an older player. She understands spacing, and she does an excellent job of taking what the defense gives.
Straight on 3 rattles in for Natalie Potts. And that came off a triple team of Alexis Markowski.
Well, Natalie Potts came into this game, even though she's a post player, she came into this game shooting about 67% from behind the arc.
Hempy is hot.
Stay hot, Alexi, stay hot.
Her career average is about 6 points a game. She's already got 8. The first foul of the ball game. They're going to get Groman with the personal. This is a South Dakota team averaging 72 points a game. Of course, 2 of their first 3 games went a little extra. Nebraska, 83 to start these first 3 games of this 24-25 season. Prince will just fire. Can't connect on that one. Rebound Larkins.
Not a fan of that shot. I prefer when the shots come more in the flow of the offense.
Larkins, the dribble drive. Pass was just a bit wide. Duffney able to corral it. Hempy being hounded by Markowski up top.
And Hempy wanted to pull it, but Markowski did a great job of closing out quick.
Great drive by Carly Duffney. We're tied at 13. Here's Callan Hake from off the bench. Tried to go high-low to Potts. Bit of a collision inside. We'll have a foul on South Dakota. Take a look at that last basket by Carly Duffney.
This is a great job of South Dakota of involving players not named Grace Larkins. And what I love about the Coyotes is that they're just making great reads. If the Huskers are closing out to take away the three, they're putting it on the ground. Straight line drives to the rim.
Markowski, nice move inside, but she can't get it to go. Rebound tap to Larkins. Larkins stops and connects. USD with the lead for the first time.
Grace got away with a little push-off right there.
It's not a foul if they don't call it.
Right.
Rimdahl on the drive, back out. Callan Hake will fire. Rebound by Potts inside. And Potts will go to the line. Here's Grace Larkins going end to end.
Grace Larkins is hard to stop in the open court, but you see right there, just a little nudge.
Little chicken wing.
That's all right, it's all right.
That's the second foul, by the way, on Adara Groman. Natalie Potts at the line. Potts, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year last season, as voted on by the coaches. Rattles in the first. She led Big Ten freshmen in rebounds, field goal, and free throw percentage. Just another inside-outside player. A lot of versatility for this Husker squad.
Oh, and she came in ready for college. She played for Incarnate Word High School in Dan Rothis, one of the top girls' high school programs in the Midwest. She started from day one as a Cornhusker.
Here's Larkins being guarded by Allison Widener. The kick out, Duffney with a corner three. Just off, rebound by Jessica Petrie. Petrie straight on three. Loose ball, rebounded by Potts. Gets another opportunity and puts it home. There's the size of Natalie Potts.
This is the balance that made the Huskers so dangerous last year. They shot a lot of threes. They shot it at a high clip, but they also were one of the best rebounding team in the Big Ten.
Nice cut by Olivia Kiefer. It was a quick 7-0 burst by Nebraska to start, but USD has done a nice job catching up, and they've done it running up and down the floor.
This is the pace that Coach Amy from South Dakota wants to play with. South Dakota already plays at a faster pace than Nebraska. They're about 78 possessions per game compared to Nebraska's 71. But if you're South Dakota, you don't want Nebraska to get set up in their quarter court defense. Their length, their size, their physicality, it's overwhelming to South Dakota. So you want to try to score quick and early.
So far, so good after that initial minute. Kiefer goes 1 for 2 at the line. It's 1 point lead for Nebraska. Widener getting a screen from Potts. Trying to work inside against Duffney. Got cut off. Potts on the drive, the scoop, and the finish.
Great athletic move by the sophomore.
Coyotes able to break the press here. Larkins, the scoop with the left hand is short.
That's what makes Grace Larkins so dangerous. It's not her initial move, it's that second move. And Nebraska really spent a lot of time working on it today in shoot around.
Another good cut from Potts, but she couldn't handle the pass.
almost feel like this pace, it's kind of rattling Nebraska. They just seem to be playing a little rush. They're sped up a little bit.
South Dakota doesn't have a deep bench so far early this season, really only playing 8 kids. But this pace, as you mentioned, Shimmy, is to their liking. Empey open for 3 again. In and out. Here is Allison Widener. Got cut off, back out to Potts. Regains her dribble, now to Widener with 10 to go on the shot clock. Good defense by USD there, cutting off the passing lane.
Textbook ball screen defense. Again, exactly what this coaching staff prepped their players for earlier today.
Empey, they're leaving her open. Hasn't made them pay after that first hit.
The coach in me gets so excited when I see players execute what they've been taught and stick to the game plan.
Potts in transition with a triple.
And that's Natalie Potts' game plan. Like I said, 67% from behind the arc coming into this game. South Dakota's got to do a better job of picking her up early in transition.
Potts up to a game-high 12 points now as Kiefer is off on the corner 3 for South Dakota. Now it's the Huskers in transition. Reaching foul down low on South Dakota.
Nebraska was very intentional in that possession of getting it down inside to their post player where they have a definite advantage. And if I'm Nebraska, that's what I'm doing every single time. I want my three-point game to be a complement to our inside game. That's where your advantage is. Go with that.
Potts has shown a versatility so far early in the first quarter to be both inside and outside. And Nebraska making a line change here. 5 new players out on the floor for Amy Williams' squad.
Do you feel all of a sudden like you're calling a hockey game, David?
A little bit. I've called a lot of hockey games here in town, and this is certainly feeling like one.
That was an entire shift change.
They were going to leave Potts in there because they thought it was a shooting foul. When they realized it wasn't, they got Markowski back in. Here she gets it on the block. Couldn't finish, though. But we're going to have a loose ball foul on South Dakota.
I appreciate this officiating. Markowski had to play through a little bit of contact there before they called that foul, but this is how it should be. I mean, Alexis Markowski is one of the best post players in the Big Ten, so she's used to playing through contact.
First one splashes in. 3rd straight year for Markowski on the Naismith Trophy preseason list. Also up for the Wooden Award, the Lisa Leslie Center of the Year Award. She is certainly one of the most accomplished players in Husker history.
She shoots 67% at the rim, but she's shooting 60% from the free throw line. So if I'm South Dakota, I'm probably going to foul her on point-blank layups too.
She was able to hit both there. The lead is back up to 8 for Nebraska. From the outside, Duffney unable to hit. 3-point shot has gone cold for South Dakota. Prince, the skip over, Nisley. Off the back iron. Fight for the loose ball, ends up in the hands of Duffney. The loose ball foul on Nebraska.
I really like that play by the freshman, Bill Keeper. Way to get in there and mix it up, and that's what this coaching staff likes about her. They like her toughness, they like her grit. And as a freshman, she's getting those rare minutes that a lot of these other younger players are not getting for South Dakota.
Gabby Wilkie, number 1 near the bottom of your screen, as you mentioned, Shimmy, the only freshman getting real minutes for South Dakota early in this season. Duffney working inside. Still on the throw into the line.
And that's what South Dakota needs to do. They've missed their last few threes, so now go ahead and try and take Nebraska off the bounce and see if you can't get something going at the rim.
Duffney averaging 14 and almost 7 boards a game here early in this season. Junior from Green Bay, Wisconsin. She's kind of been the second option early on besides Grace Larkin through these first 3 games for USD. Under a minute to go here in a fast and furious opening quarter. almost a square team around Markowski. And Kendall Moriarty is the beneficiary.
That was textbook offense. Throw it inside to the big girl. She's triple teamed. She does an excellent job of kicking it out, and then the extra pass that leads to the three.
Largest lead thus far for Nebraska here at 9. Duffney on the cut, too strong with the left hand.
She anticipated getting fouled. She tried to finish through contact and overcompensated.
Shot clock is off here with 15 seconds remaining. Britt Prince will set up the offense. Working off a screen, the crossover, the drive, and the finish.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Larkins down low, the kick out. Three goes in and out for Addison close to ball.
That last possession, South Dakota didn't have anyone going to the offensive glass.
That one in and out from Petra Bojan off the bench.
Another big coming in, shooting threes.
The positional versatility, as you mentioned, Shimmy, just off the charts for Nebraska. As Coral Mason with a nice drive inside for USD.
That was Bojan's actually, David. That was her first miss from behind the arc on the season.
She was 4 for 4. That 100% goes down to 80. Rimdahl, short on the mid-range. Ball pinballs to Coral Mason.
If there's one area where I would like to see Nebraska improve, it would be on that. Their pick and roll action. They don't utilize it enough. And I don't understand why, because they've got good guards, and we see how good their bigs are.
Foul on Larkins as she lost the handle on it. Natalie Cox, Kendall Moriarty back for the Huskers. Wide Hargrove will take a seat.
This depth of Nebraska, it just wears you down, wears you down, wears you down.
Moriarty. We'll call the moving screen foul on Bojan.
Maybe that's why we don't see the Nebraska. Coach Williams says, no, we're going to pick up offensive fouls and moving screens. We'll just get away from that and we'll just set off ball screens and shoot threes.
So far, the threes have worked. Lead is 24 for the Huskers. Olivia Kiefer spinning inside, working it back out, close to board. South Dakota's getting the looks, they're just not knocking them down.
They're doing an excellent job of dribble penetrating and creating opportunities for open shots on the perimeter. But you're right, David, they just can't knock them down.
Nebraska, meanwhile, is knocking them down open or guarded. 12 of 17 is Nebraska from deep here in this first half. Fouls on Callan Hake here under 2 minutes to go. This is a Nebraska team that averages 83 a game. And with 58 and 2 minutes to go in the first half, they are on pace to smash that season average.
Nebraska, they average 42 points in the paint in this season, and tonight they only have 12 paint points because they're shooting the ball so well from the three.
Tie up on the floor, possession arrow favors the Huskers. Kendall Coley will come in for the first time for Nebraska.
I like her. She's one of the older players on this team. She's been a role player her entire career at Nebraska, but she just provides stability. She provides energy, toughness, willing to do whatever it takes.
Moriarty a little strong on that three. Go over to South Dakota.
I I would like to see Nebraska go inside. Whenever Alexis Markowski is in the game, I would like to see Nebraska play through her before they take a three.
You would think with as many threes as they shot, might want to work that post game a little bit more and create even more space.
Well, you think about how many threes that they got off of her kickouts from the double and triple teams that she was demanding. She will find the shooters. Play through her.
Under a minute to go here in this second quarter. Potts got it back inside, the spin in the lane and the hit.
And that time they didn't necessarily play through Alexis. They inverted it, but they went inside. And I love that. That high-low that Potts and Markowski have, that chemistry connection that they have, it's almost unguardable.
See the points in the paint. Even with all the outside shooting, Nebraska still +4 in points in the paint. Larkins spinning with the left hand again. Rebound Markowski. Nebraska can hold for the final shot. Final 10 seconds here of the second quarter. Prince had that one partially blocked. Here comes Larkins in transition. Had it poked away by Prince. Inside, got it off and put it home.
That was a tough shot by Brent Prince. She took a contested three instead of just turning the corner and getting to the rim, because South Dakota hasn't been able to stop that the entire first half. And that tough shot led to a basket for South Dakota.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Larkins got the continuation, cannot complete the three-point play, however. The lead is 31 for Nebraska. Jessica Petrie working inside, and it poked away by Wilkie. It will stay with the Huskers.
South Dakota is showing no quit right now. They're still getting after it. They're still very connected, and those are all good signs.
Here's Callan Hake. Skip it over, Moriarty. Moriarty has been excellent off the bench tonight. In fact, with that three, she has a new career high, 13 points.
Well, and she is not known as a three-point shooter. I mean, she came into this game 0 for 5, but three-point shooting, it is contagious.
14 threes in this game now for Nebraska. Shot clock down to 5 for Larkins, trying to weave through traffic. Picked up her dribble, duffed it, had her shot blocked as the shot clock expired.
It's hard to play against that type of length. Just when you think you've broken free, you've got 6'3" closing out on you on the corner on the baseline.
Officials just cleaning up a piece of trash that was on the floor.
They're just doing it all, calling a great game, picking up refuse.
Moriarty on the drive. That was a tough angle. We'll have a loose ball foul on Nebraska. Personal. South Dakota out of the Summit League Mid-Major Conference. They hold their conference tournament here in Sioux Falls at the Denny Sanford Premier Center. USD picked 4th in the preseason poll out of 9 teams, but they have been a perennial contender for the NCAA tournament and the Summit League championship title. But as you mentioned this season, Shimmy, trying to weave in some of the veterans and some new players. It may take some time, but they have the talent to do it.
Well, and let's not forget, their losses have been very close. I mean, they're 4 possessions away from coming into this game 3-0.
Absolutely they are, as that miss from Wilkie goes the other way for Nebraska. Potts on the drive, and stripped away by Larkins. Grace Larkins in transition, stops, pops, and connects.
She really does do it all.
She had a South Dakota team record 31 shot attempts in their loss in overtime to Loyola Marymount the other day. She's putting up close to 20 shots again here this evening. 22 points for Larkins as Moriarty is off inside.
And she still has the energy to come over and try and take a charge on the defensive end.
There's Groman. Out to Wilkie. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. All Nebraska. Groman turns around in the lane.
I like the life and the energy and the fight that South Dakota is playing with right now, and that's part of your culture. When you can be down by 30 and still play as hard as they're playing, that's your culture.
Alberti Rimdahl hits from the elbow. Rimdahl, another nice addition for this Nebraska squad. I mentioned she's a transfer from Florida, really good shooter. Just another piece of that versatility that Amy Williams is looking for.
Every year that Amy Williams has been at Nebraska, she has managed to bring in one or two key pieces, a grad transfer or an older player from the portal.
About a 2.5-second difference shot clock and game clock as Larkins is fouled by Moriarty. Larkins will go back to the line. A couple substitutions for Nebraska. Rick brings Petra Bojan back in.
If there's one area in Grace Larkins' game that I would like to see and improve quickly, it's right here at the free throw line. Came into this game shooting about 60%. Did have that tough miss at the end of the Loyola Marymount game where they ended up going into overtime and losing.
Well, she went 2 for 2, so you avoided the announcer's jinx there.
Do you believe in that?
When it happens, I do. Final seconds, Britt Prince. Absolutely pure on the step back. And Nebraska ends this third quarter with a 32-point lead over South Dakota, 84-52.
Other jobs, other higher profile jobs. But on the other hand, if you're a fan base and you're the administration, you don't want to keep losing your good coaches every few years when bigger schools come calling.
Britt Prince with an and one opportunity on the fourth personal foul from Olivia Kiefer. Prince completes the three-point play. By the way, she has doubled her career high. I know her career is only 4 games old, but a career high 21 right now for Britt Prince. A sign of things to come, I would say.
Earlier in the game, I mentioned that we might be looking at a candidate for 2025 Big Ten Freshman of the Year, and I meant it. So starting point guard, she can get you 24 points, but she can also get you an 11 assists. When she figures out that, the defensive component of the game, and learns to stop flying out at people and to contest in a composed way, watch out, Big Ten.
This is something Amy Williams was discussing with us at Morning Shoot-Around, that she's self-aware to know that defense still needs work, but she's also confident enough in herself and able to laugh at herself for any mistakes she makes. No mistaking there as Logan Nisley hits from downtown again.
Well, Britt is a coach's kid. Her mom was her high school coach, so you know that they've had a lot of dinner time discussions on the nuances of defense.
Coral Mason is short on that corner three. Rebound taken away by Grace Larkins. Gets her own offensive rebound among 3 Huskers and pulls it back out. There's that quit the non-quit rather, from Larkins and the Coyotes. Can't hit on that three, but the effort is there. Misley. Bit of a heat check is off the iron. Larkins gets the rattle to go.
Nebraska, they've taken off their press and their pressure. Even after makes, they still like to pick, or after misses, they still like to pick up full court. And I haven't seen that the last few possessions. If South Dakota keeps scoring like this, though, don't be surprised if Amy Williams starts pressing again.
Petrie was fouled inside. 15 threes in this ballgame for Nebraska. That ties the most in a game away from Lincoln.
We still have 8 minutes to play, David.
The all-time record for threes in a game for Nebraska is 17. So 2 more ties it, 3 more achieves it, as Petrie is good from the line.
I'd be good with that. I'm down for a record-breaking performance tonight.
I think most of this sold-out crowd would also appreciate that. Again, a lot of red in here, as both the Coyotes and Huskers have red as their primary color, but a lot of friends and family of Amy Williams, her parents, you mentioned uncles, cousins, a lot of her former players who played at South Dakota are in the stands tonight. It's been a nice homecoming and a beautiful job here showcasing this crowd at the Sanford Pentagon.
Oh, they've done a wonderful job with the promotion, the marketing, bringing in this great crowd. It's been a wonderful atmosphere for women's basketball tonight.
And Nebraska fans might as well stay overnight. The men play St. Mary's tomorrow. That game on Big Ten Network at noon Central. Markowski is short. Hempy will let it roll out of bounds over to South Dakota.
I was having breakfast this morning in my hotel, and I ran into some Husker fans, and I asked them if they were going to the game tonight, and they said they couldn't get tickets.
This game was sold out earlier this week.
Yeah, they're going to the men's game tomorrow, but couldn't get tickets tonight.
Duffney inside, hoop in the harm.
Great take by Duffney. Nothing fancy. There's nothing sexy about straight line drives, but it gets the job done. And again, this is an area where Brent Prince is as talented as the freshman is, where she will grow. She's so used to just being able to rise up and block shots, and she's learning you can't do that at this level.
Up to 10 points now for Duffney, so that's 9 straight games in double figures for Carly Duffney. Kendall Coley rattles it in. That is the 9th different Husker to hit an outside shot tonight.
These fans in here have no idea that we're on the precipice of something special. One more three.
I think some diehard fans might know we're on the precipice, and if not, they'll hear it from us. Hempy rattles in a triple on the other side. It's been a nice game for Alexi Hempy. A little cold in the middle part, but she's starting to heat up again here in the second half. Prince on the drive with the scoop. Great move, great finish.
Her pace. That's what impresses me the most about her as a freshman. A lot of times freshmen come in, they don't understand how to play with pace. She does.
Grace Larkins, another nice move inside. She's up to a game-high 28 points.
She's on pace to break her career high that she set in the last game against LMU at 29.
Markowski inside. Nebraska on the precipice of the century mark. A little less than 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter from Sioux Falls. Hempy being guarded by Bojan. Bojan a little too aggressive on the baseline. Sanford Pentagon here in Sioux Falls, opened in September of 2013, including tonight they hosted 92 Division I college basketball games, both men's and women's. And you're going to see a lot of games on the Big Ten Network from this building, including tomorrow, later next week, Iowa versus Kansas women, Iowa versus Utah men, in late December before the Christmas season.
It's just a wonderful venue. This is my first time here. It's a lot of fun just walking through the building, seeing all the history, all the placards that are around, the murals on the wall. You've got great women's basketball players, Cheryl Miller, Lindsay Whalen, Diana Taurasi on the walls in the tunnel. It's pretty cool.
A lot of pride here in the local Sioux Falls community for this building as Coley hits another three. Nebraska has now tied a team record 17 threes in a game.
And no better person to do that than Kendall Coley, someone who's been in this program for so many years.
Hempy off on that one, rebound to Hake. Hargrove for the record. You bet!
That freshman has no idea what she just did.
18 threes for Nebraska. A record for a single game. Foul inside on Moriarty.
My heart goes out to this entire program, but especially Bridget's family, her husband and her 4 young children.
We resume play here with about 4 minutes to go. Gabby Wilkie short on that jumper. Should note that number 32 for South Dakota, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, making her collegiate debut, number 32 in the post in red, as Kendall Coley keeps adding to the Nebraska record three. Speaking of 32, Nebraska's number 32 doing all right for herself.
And I love to see it. I talked about Kendall Coley in the first half. She is a player who, again, stayed when she had an opportunity to take her last year someplace else, but she stayed. She's been a role player her entire career at Nebraska. Just does whatever is needed. Has played limited minutes, so it's nice to see her have a special part in this record-breaking performance.
Pass was tipped and stolen by Coral Mason for South Dakota. Addison close to Moore. A little off on that triple. Rebound from Moriarty. Nebraska, after tonight's ball game, will go home to face North Alabama, and then a big one next Friday, Shimmy, at Creighton in Omaha.
I've been a part of a few of those red and blue battles, and throw out the record, the rankings, all of that. Nothing else matters when Creighton and Nebraska play one another.
Knocked out of bounds back over to South Dakota. More connections. One of Creighton's assistant coaches, Mike Jewett, former assistant coach at South Dakota. In fact, he was the acting head coach during Kayla Karius' pregnancy for a short time last season.
Well, Connie Yori's on the Creighton coaching staff. Obviously, former Big Ten and Big 12 Coach of the Year and National Coach of the Year when she was at Nebraska several years ago. It is a state divided on that night.
That it is.
You're either blue or red, David.
It will certainly be packed in Omaha next Friday, as it is packed here this evening. Nice move by Olivia Kiefer on the baseline.
I'm actually very excited to see Ruthie Loomis-Girdle.
Mentioned her a bit earlier. She's a transfer from Colorado, redshirted last season. A four-star recruit as that pass goes sailing out of bounds. But a four-star recruit, number 78 in ESPN's Top 100 a couple years ago. A nice pickup for Carrie Amy. We mentioned Nebraska's upcoming schedule, that Creighton game, Kansas City, another team out of the Summit League. Then that first Big Ten game coming early December against Minnesota. A couple former Coyote coaches in Amy Williams and Dawn Plitzowite going head-to-head.
And there was a time where Big Ten season didn't start until late December or right after New Year's, but now with all of these teams in the conference, you have to start conference play a few weeks earlier.
Sophie Hayden into the ballgame for USD, gets fouled. A little more than 2 minutes to go. Lead is 44 for Nebraska. Payton able to hit the first. 6'1" senior, went to Minnetonka High School in the Twin Cities. Transfer from George Washington, has battled some injuries, only 10 games each of the last 2 seasons. Goes 1 of 2 at the line. Bojan the board for Nebraska. Final 2 minutes here from the Sanford Pentagon as USD shows a zone look.
They started the game in a zone, and then Nebraska shot them right out of it. And now they're bringing it back out.
Shot clock down to 5. Coley. How about Kendall Coley?
The smile on Kendall Coley's face, it says it all. It says far more than I could ever say right now. So happy for her.
She has a career high, 15 points. Loomis Girdle gets fouled. So we have 3 different players with career highs for Nebraska, and Natalie Potts tied a career high with 22 points.
Kendall Coley came into this game averaging 5 minutes and 1 point. What a wonderful way to reward someone who has meant so much to this program.
First career point for Ruthie Loomis Girdle. That's a nice hand from the Coyote bench and the throng of Coyote supporters. 1 of 2 at the line.
We asked Coach Amy about Ruthie, and she just talked about the learning curve. There is I don't care how many stars you have, there's no such thing as stars once you get to college. Rankings don't mean anything, and a lot of times freshmen, they have a learning curve, but you can see right there, that's a great rebound that she just went up and just snatched out of the air. You see that potential that she has. Another one of those great young players that South Dakota has to look forward to.
Got fouled on the rebound there. 6'3", so she certainly has the size to be able to be a good post in the Summit League in years to come. But as you said, when we talked to Coach Carrie Amy, the learning curve sometimes is steeper a little bit. People forget she didn't play at all last season, even though she was in the Colorado program.
And there is a big adjustment from high school to college. We talked earlier with Britt Prince and the pace that she plays with that so well. But I look at Ruthie and I see her physique, I see her size, and she definitely has a Division I body.
Final minute here from Sioux Falls.
I have to laugh right now because Kendall Coley just cut so hard through that zone, like she wants another one.
113-67. Top 5 scoring output in Nebraska history.
We put up a lot of points when I was coaching with Connie Yori at Nebraska. But we never put up 113, I'll tell you that right now.
Corner 3 is in from Coral Mason. Callan Hake will just dribble out the clock. Nebraska had 21 two-point field goals and a school record 20 three-point field goals. It's a final 113-70. Nebraska with a dominating win. They improved to 4-0, while South Dakota falls to 0-4.